Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please be joined today by Michael Moore, the owner of Quail Run Vineyards. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we're here today. You guys recently had a contract with a California winery, Copper Cane, cut due to, I guess maybe in their words, heavy smoke from wildfires that we certainly saw around here this summer. What exactly did they tell you?
What they told us, and I should emphasize it wasn't us, it was us and at least 14 other vineyards in southern Oregon,
Wow.
was that the smoke had caused taint in the wine. They established that through an in-house sensory panel, meaning that employees of the company tasted wine that was 10 days old, claimed that there was smoke taint, and rejected it based on that before anything was tested. There is something called smoke taint that can get into wines.
I was about to ask you, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a concern, I think, for everybody with the fires that we were having in the valley this year. But as we approached harvest, we began getting test results from other wineries. We were getting low numbers below what they call the sensory threshold, where you can detect it in the wine. So we weren't worried about it, and I think most people in the Rogue Valley weren't worried about it based on evidence from testing at laboratories. But they went ahead and canceled all contracts based on this in-house sensory panel.
Okay, and you say in-house sensory panel, that doesn't sound like a scientific test like what you're talking about with, I mean, I don't know what that sounds like. What is that?
Yeah, there were no empirical numbers. There was no third party testing it. It was employees of the company testing it, knowing that they were already wanting to reject the wine, I believe, and basically said that they were able to taste taint in the wine. We know from lots and lots of wine that's being made with our grapes and other people's grapes, that was not an issue. We're selling to 39 wineries. 38 of them have accepted the fruit. Everybody's been thrilled. One winery rejected it. That was Copper Cane.
Okay, and I haven't seen, full disclosure, I haven't seen the contract or anything like that. You probably know it pretty well, I would imagine, but probably not by heart. Do they have the ability to cancel it for something like that?
Well, I think if you're going to cancel it for reasons of taint, which in the contract it says they can do, you need to establish with a third party.
The contract says this, third party?
The contract says for reasons of taint. But in other words, you can't have the owner who may be wanting to reduce inventory make that decision. You need to have a third party, or you need to have empirical evidence like testing in order to establish whether there's taint or not. What they did was entirely subjective in-house, and from every other winery that we're selling to, it's not been a problem. Again, 38 wineries have accepted their fruit.
Okay, and I want to get into kind of the craziness of what's happened for you since, as you say, you've been able to sell all your grapes, but what's next for you and Copper Cane and the relationship, if there is any?
Well, we have one more year of contract, and that will be it.
Oh, okay.
For us. I won't work with this company again. Wow. Not everybody is in a position, though, where they can turn away a large sale of grapes. So there are people who have longer term contracts. There's people who have a lot of their grapes sold to Copper Cane. So for them, this is going to be an ongoing relationship. We have one more year.
Interesting. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Michael Moore, the owner of Quail Run Vineyards. We're talking about a contract that you guys grew your grapes, spent all season on, and so this contract with California winemaker Copper Cane was canceled due to smoke taint. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they felt that it tasted too much like smoke, and they didn't want to buy your grapes. But you guys have been okay. You were able to sell your grapes to somebody else.
Yeah, and I want to just emphasize, they claimed they were tasting smoke, but what they tasted was 10-day-old wine. The precursors to smoke taint are bound up in 10-day-old wine. You don't taste it in 10-day-old wine. They couldn't have tasted it. So it wasn't rejected because they tasted it. It was rejected for other reasons. That's the key point here. As far as our vineyard goes, we're extremely lucky. We have a lot of very long-term, well-established relationships with lots of wineries. And basically, these wineries have come to our rescue. We've had wineries calling us up saying, we don't need fruit, can we buy some of the fruit? They'd already received grapes, they knew the quality, they knew there was not a taint issue. And ultimately, we had two of the larger wineries we work with, Willamette Valley Vineyards and King Estate, come in and buy up Copper Cane's grapes. But I want to emphasize something. We're one of 14 vineyards. I consider us extremely lucky having these relationships. Lots of other vineyards haven't had those kind of long-term relationships. They haven't been able to sell their fruit. And there's a lot of vineyards right now that probably are teetering on the brink of collapse because of these cancellations. A lot of vineyards were exposed 50%, 100% of their fruit tied up with copper cane. So when you put all the money to get the grapes to the point where you're ready to harvest, and then you get your contract rejected, they're out. That entire amount that they put into getting the grapes ready for harvest. And it's going to do terrible, terrible damage to a lot of vineyards.
Wow, okay, and that's 13 here in Southern Oregon.
Yeah, we know of 15. We think there's more.
Wow, okay, all right. So is there, obviously we're not able to ask Copper Cane right here, right now, but you feel this has been done unjustly, they broke contract.
Oh yeah, there's not a smoke taint issue.
Okay.
We do not have a smoke taint issue. We have empirical evidence from laboratory testing showing there's not a smoke taint issue.
And there's a lot of, as you say, organizations that are been affected by this and hurt by this. Are you guys talking about banding together for some sort of lawsuit?
I think there will be.
Interesting. Okay. Well, definitely something that we will continue to be watching. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.